All set. Well, hi everyone. My name is Dr. Nancy Bryan, and first of all, I want to thank Becky for being brave and putting all this together because my technology background is terrible. I'm lucky if I can answer my cell phone. So thank you so much, Becky, for putting this on, and hopefully it'll be a chance for us to be able to share a lot of information with a lot of different people in some new types of technology. Second of all, thanks to all of you that are listening tonight. It was our hope, Becky and I, to be able to get some information out to people so that they could understand maybe why there's a lot of people that are taking a look at this company and taking a look at some of the products that they have and really becoming involved with this company. And so I told her that I'd be happy to help hopefully give my story and in the process maybe answer questions for a few people, and maybe that will be a story that you'll be able to share and relate to with a lot of other people. So first of all, my background is I'm a pharmacist, I'm a biochemist, and I formulate veterinary and human medications and nutritionals. I also am a certified diabetic educator, and I've been involved in about every aspect of pharmaceuticals that you could be involved in. Everything from being on the pharmaceutical side, to being on the compounding side, to being on the regulatory side, and also involved with a lot of research and studies. And so I just want you to have a little bit of idea of what kind of background I come from. And when I first was introduced to this company, I'm not going to lie to you, I was not really looking for anything. I'm pretty happy with what I do. I am on the phone every day talking to veterinarians and zoos and aquariums all over the world, and it's a really fun job, and I really enjoy it. But there were some things about me that I needed to work on. I've always had a quest for wellness and in helping other people to be empowered with education about their own wellness. And I had been through a journey of having breast cancer back in 2008. And when I went through that breast cancer, it was very traumatic for me as well as a lot of my friends because I was probably one of the healthiest people that they knew. And that was really scary to them because you like to think if you do all the things you're supposed to do that you're not going to have those kinds of things happen. But the reality is there's lots of parts that go into things like cancer and disease states, and our genes play a big role in that. And so a little bit about what we're going to talk about today is that we are finding that there are a lot of things that can make a difference that maybe we didn't know about back then. And when I first took a look at this company, it was one of the things that intrigued me the most. So first of all, what I'd like to do is just give you the background. I had a friend that called me one day and told me that they had heard about a company and had been to a meeting in California. They wanted me to take a look at a product, and I get so many people that send me products to take a look at. And because I do formulations and start from scratch with a lot of nutritionals and medicinal products, I know a lot about the manufacturing process, and I know a lot about the study side of things. And what happened is, when they showed me the information, the first thing that amazed me was that there were actually really, really good studies that were done on this product. And they were done by companies and universities that were not actually selling the product. And in our world, you don't see nutritional products listed by a name in research. If you see anything researched, there may be parts of a product, or they may take ingredients that have been studied, but you don't see a nutritional product by name being listed in a study. So when they brought those studies to me, it was really intriguing to me. And what really caught my attention in particular was after my breast cancer, I also had a melanoma, and it was linked to the type of breast cancer that I have. And as a result, I had gone to the dermatologist every 3 months for a number of years, and every visit something was either being cut or burned off me. And I was really frustrated. You know, when you live in Phoenix, it's kind of hard to avoid the sun. And so when the first study I saw was from Louisiana State University, that study discussed what this product did in regard to skin cancer. And that was really interesting to me. And so when I took a look at it further, I thought, you know what, it might be worth me trying it. I did try it to begin with, to just take the product. I wasn't really interested in a business. And basically what happened is I found that there were some other things that started happening for me that were really beneficial that I wasn't planning on. You know, I was finding that my sleep seemed to be a lot deeper and better, and that the rheumatoid arthritis I had had for years was feeling a lot better. And so that really encouraged me to take a look at what the product, the whole mechanism of action of it, and look deeper into the studies. And so the first thing that happened is I was able to watch the video, the investigative report that was done in 2005. And so those of you that haven't seen it yet, I'd really like you to see the video, because I want you to see it the way that I saw it. And Becky, do you have a chance to go ahead and put that video on for a minute? I don't know if she's nearby. Do you want to go ahead and play the ABC video?
Sure do. Give me just 1 second here.
You want to get an edge on turning back the clock with just a few pills? Who doesn't? Well, it's no longer science fiction, but science possibility, a potential breakthrough. As I found out firsthand, there may be a way to erase years, at least inside my body. Granted, it's down the road, but some scientists are wondering if a new pill I took might offer a very long life. It may not look like the fountain of youth, but inside this nondescript building, I'm about to become part of an exciting experiment, a kind of guinea pig.
Dr. McCord, okay.
I'm here at the University of Colorado in Denver to meet Dr. Joe McCord, a world-renowned scientist.
This is pretty exciting stuff you're finding, huh?
It is. We're very excited about it.
His latest research could very well unravel the mystery of aging itself. And his decades of experiments may have the potential of adding years to people's lives and possibly prevent chronic diseases like cancer, diabetes, and heart disease. It all centers around this small yellow pill, and for me, it begins with a blood test.
Can you scoop? Yeah, there we go.
It wouldn't be the first time I've given blood for this company.
They want to check my levels of something called T-bars, which is a rough indicator of a person's actual age. T-bars can identify a condition known as oxidative stress, a kind of measure of the wear and tear on our bodies. Oxidative stress, like the rusting of an engine, is not a good thing.
Bad for the body.
Leading to disease.
Leading to disease and leading to malfunction, and importantly, leading to what we call aging. It is a slow progression of increasing oxidative stress. That's the main characteristic biochemically of the aging process.
The problem of aging begins with the very food we eat to give us energy. As our cells burn that food, they also release toxic chemicals. Those chemicals, you may know them as free radicals, react with all the components of our cells, literally bombarding them millions of times per second, damaging all our cells. The result? Oxidative stress. And we all have it. The body fights back with a system of defenses. It makes two antioxidant enzymes, catalase and SOD, whose job is to gobble up the free radicals before they can harm our cells.
So, doctor, how often do I take these?
And so, here I go. With that swallow, I've just become part of a potentially landmark scientific experiment.
Doesn't taste bad.
It's called Protandim, and tests on both mice and humans have already shown that it revs up the manufacture of those good enzymes in our bodies. More enzymes, fewer free radicals to harm us.
Right now, all we know is that this preparation decreases oxidative stress. Oxidative stress is not a disease, just like aging is not in itself a disease, but it's something that accompanies and is attached to many disease processes. So you can see the age-related.
Normally, oxidative stress, measured by those T-bars, increases with age. But in Dr. McCord's tests, taking just one pill of Protandim a day reversed that trend for everyone at every age, even for an 80-year-old.
They all are reduced to the level of oxidative stress that one would expect, frankly, in a newborn or a very young child.
High oxidative stress is associated with more than aging. It's been linked to hundreds of illnesses.
It's at the very center of many diseases: liver disease, diabetes, emphysema, asthma. I've studied all of these: strokes, heart attacks.
Even mental disease.
Yes.
Depression?
Alzheimer's disease, depression.
Dr. James Crapo with the National Jewish Medical Center in Denver is also researching Protandim for the company. But what about my progress? After nearly 2 weeks now, it's time to get my results. Dr. McCord calculates the numbers. The result? My level of oxidative stress has declined dramatically.
45%, that's excellent.
Just look at where I fall on the graph, before and after.
Which, if extrapolated back, is the level you would see in a newborn baby.
Would you suggest I keep taking this supplement?
I would. I can't guarantee it's going to extend your life. I can't guarantee it's going to eliminate any diseases or cure any diseases.
But we do know that oxidative stress is part of those disease processes. I don't want to wait until I'm 80 years old and find out that I should have taken it.
Major universities and government agencies initiated and continue self-funded studies following the ABC Primetime Investigative Report you just viewed that originally aired in 2005. These studies continue to reveal more scientific evidence about Protandim's unique benefits. They are published in major scientific and medical journals. The next video will bring you up to date.
Developed after 40 years of research and exclusively for LifeVantage, Protandim is a true scientific breakthrough in anti-aging. Protandim has been reported on ABC, NBC, and PBS, featured in the Wall Street Journal, and described in CNN Chief Medical Correspondent Dr. Sanjay Gupta's book, Chasing Life: The Quest for Immortality. Protandim's creator, Dr. Joe McCord, is a world-renowned scientist and a pioneer in free radical biology. Dr. McCord is the discoverer of the key anti-aging enzyme superoxide dismutase. His role in the discovery is so significant, the enzyme is measured in McCord units.
When I was a graduate student at Duke University, my thesis research was the discovery of a new enzyme called superoxide dismutase. This enzyme had the odd function of scavenging free radicals in the human body.
For Dr. McCord's discovery of superoxide dismutase and his contributions in free radical biology, he was awarded the Elliott Cresson Medal. This medal is awarded to distinguished inventors and scientists, putting Dr. McCord in the same company as Pierre and Marie Curie, Alexander Graham Bell, Orville Wright, and Henry Ford. Dr. Joe McCord has devoted his life's work to the study of free radicals, their role in aging, and the many problems associated with aging.
Free radicals were known to be involved in a lot of damaging chemistry that's involved in the decay and the rusting phenomenon of metals.
When you break it down to what free radicals are, that is cellular damage at the cellular level. It's damaging of the cells, and that damage that is caused, that's what oxidative stress is. Oxidative stress, in layman's terms, is rusting from the inside out.
Consumers spend billions every year on antioxidants in the form of food and supplements, hoping to reduce these free radicals. But antioxidants from these sources can only eliminate one free radical for every one antioxidant molecule you consume. Protandim is scientifically proven to slow cellular damage caused by free radicals. Taking one Protandim 1 time per day for 30 days turns on these anti-aging enzymes in your body. Your own enzymes eliminate free radicals at a rate of 1 million to 1.
So 1 molecule of superoxide dismutase can react with up to 1 million free radicals per second every second. We found, as many other scientists had documented, that there is a progressive increase in T-bars in your blood the older you get. When these same people took Protandim for 30 days, the age-dependent increase in lipid peroxidation was completely eliminated. After Protandim, we could no longer distinguish the 80-year-old from the 20-year-old. The statement that Protandim supplementation can completely eliminate the age-dependent increase in oxidative stress is a very powerful statement. It's been peer-reviewed. It's even been scrutinized by review regulatory agencies and completely validated.
Protandim is protected by 3 U.S. patents. Universities around the world continue to initiate and fund their own studies of Protandim and to evaluate how this anti-aging breakthrough can prevent and improve many of the hundreds of problems associated with aging.
Using the product, you're gonna definitely see the benefits in your life. And you can also know with a surety, because of these studies that have been published, that it's gonna do what you think it's going to do and what it's supposed to do.
Okay, so as you can see, that was from back in 2005. And so I have a lot of questions that people will ask to me when I show them this video. Well, that was in 2005. Why is it that we still don't have a lot more people aware of this product? And part of what happened is that the people that were dealing with this product, after that video played, a lot of scientists and a lot of people saw it, and they placed a huge number of orders. And because of that, they really spent a lot of time trying to fulfill those orders, and they were really unable to do it. They were placing bottles in GNC and in a few pharmacies, and because people were putting it on the shelf next to other antioxidants like vitamin C, people could not understand why someone would pay $50 for a bottle when they could buy something for $4.95. So there really needed to be a story to be told. And so when I looked at that information, the important thing for me was, as I studied in biochemistry, I knew about Dr. McCord. I studied McCord. Okay, so were you able to hear anything that I said after the video?
Just from after the video.
Okay. So, as I was stating, the video was shown in 2005, and lots of people saw the video, and a lot of people ordered, but they were really unable to fulfill marketing this product because they were scientists, not marketers. And the important reason I want people to see that video is twofold. The first is, I think it really gives a visual of what they're actually talking about, what sets apart Protandim. And the second thing is, I think it needs to be out there because it's really the start of them getting this information out there, and where we are today is in such a great place because that video aired. Because that video aired, although the company itself needed to do some changes and ended up turning into LifeVantage. But what happened is a bunch of scientists saw that what Protandim was capable of doing. They saw what the test results were showing, and they had been looking for that. They knew that oxidative stress was a huge part of problems with illness. They knew a lot of those types of things, and they were very interested. So they took the products, and that's why you see studies that were done with Protandim. They had, up until that point, not found anything that actually had been proven to do what they needed to show were the reasons for specific illnesses. And so for me, when I saw that video, it just opened my eyes to a completely different way of dealing with illness and starting to deal with wellness. And that was why when I took a look at it, it really started sparking more interest in me and more questions. From that point, when I took a look at some of the studies, the first thing that I knew and recognized was the point they made about fruits and vegetables. And you'll hear this nowadays all the time. A lot of people will say, well, I take antioxidants. Why would I take Protandim? It's a huge difference between taking fruits and juices when they are a direct antioxidant. And you have to understand what an antioxidant is to begin with. Anti means against, and it's against something that's oxidizing something. And those free radicals, that's what they were doing. And so with that damage, what happens is when you take fruits, which are certainly important to take fruits and juices and that sort of thing, but they work directly on a 1-to-1 ratio. When we take Protandim, the first thing that happens is when it goes into our body, it signals through that SOD, through that enzyme, and becomes something called an indirect antioxidant. There's a huge difference between direct antioxidants being a one-on-one and an indirect, which, as Dr. McCord stated in the video, now is going to be able to handle millions and millions of free radical damaged cells. And as a result of that, that started making things a lot more effective in dealing with certain illnesses. Now, we can't say that it cures, prevents, or mitigates disease, but we do have a lot of studies currently that are now showing where Protandim has its effects on our genomes. And as a result of that, with it being an indirect antioxidant, it is very powerful. So now, instead of taking a squirt gun to a fire, like you do with a regular direct antioxidant, we now have a means of putting that fire out in our body. And that's the difference between taking an antioxidant or taking protein. That's an important difference. It's also important to know and understand that as time has gone on, pharmaceutical companies know and understand that this is a mechanism that works in the cell that's really important. They know that this NRF2 activation that's created by Protandim is a way that we can really help prevent disease and that we can really help our cells to stay healthy. And so knowing that mechanism, they have been trying to prove certain disease states are caused by this oxidative stress. And so many of the studies that we have currently out there are studies done by universities using Protandim to actually demonstrate a theory that they have. For instance, it's currently in Circulation, which is a journal for cardiologists. To my knowledge, it's the only nutritional that's listed by name in that journal. And the reason is because in the studies that were being used, the studies, when they took that product, they were trying to demonstrate that oxidative stress was what was responsible for creating issues when you have a bypass surgery. So for instance, when someone has bypass, they take veins from down in your legs and they put them up in your heart. The problem is within 4 or 5 years, they start hardening again and you have to have the surgery again. When they were trying to prove their study, they used Protandim, not to see what Protandim would do, but they wanted to prove that it wasn't due to things going on in the lungs and other areas of the body, that it was actually oxidative stress that was creating the problem for that tissue and causing fibrous tissue to show up. And what they found when they used the Protandim in that study that's in the Circulation journal was that the fibrous tissues weren't showing up. They weren't there. And they were really excited because they were able to show their theory of what was happening. For me as a scientist, that was huge because they weren't trying to prove whether Protandim did something or didn't. They were trying to prove their theory by using Protandim. And it's such a different means of studying something. That to me really illustrated a lot in regard to what was going on with this product. Then I became really excited about it. And back to my story. So I started taking Protandim. I started feeling better. And I had a friend by the name of Arlene. She's been a really good friend of mine for a long time. She has not one, but 2 autism children. I've known her for a number of years. It's been a huge struggle for their family because the daughter in particular was very, very severe autism and very, very time consuming in terms of her care and all the things that were going on with her. It was a perpetual care of her, so much that Arlene was never able to work. They also have a son that has Asperger's, and although he was fairly high functioning, it was very difficult for him at times. And so I don't know why, but her name just kept popping up in my head once I started taking Protandim. And I called her one day, and I wish she were here tonight. I was hoping she'd be here tonight to tell her story. But basically what happened is her daughter was in a crisis. She had been hurting herself, and she had a straitjacket and helmet on because she was in so much pain and she could not express it to her family. When I took a look at her medications, one of the medications was a product that creates really severe gastrointestinal inflammation and pain. And she could not express that to her family. And as a result, she was tearing her hair out, literally. When I got over there, her mom, the first thing she said, you know what, I don't know, we're ready to have to put her in into a hospital setting, and I'm so frustrated, I don't know what to do. And I knew from the information I had that there was a possibility that Protandim could make a difference for her, and I also knew it was not going to interfere with her medications. And so we started her on it, and within a very short period of time, we were able to get her off a medication that typically might take somewhere between 2 and 3 months to wean someone off. We were able to wean her off rather quickly. And after about 4 months, she called me one day, and she actually had a picture she wanted to share with me. The first picture was a picture she had taken prior to me coming over and talking to her about Protandim. It was before she had really been hurting herself, but she was not in a very good place. And then the second picture was 4 months after she had started Protandim, and it happened to be around Thanksgiving, and it was their family photo. And all of the kids look at the photo at Thanksgiving. The first thing said was, wow, look at Adrian. And basically the bottom line is it's made a significant change for her. She's been able to become much more functioning through that and through a product called Axio that's also by LifeVantage. Those 2 things have made a huge impact on her. And as a result, when all that started happening, the first thing that came to my mind was, what if I wouldn't have shared this with Arlene? What if I would not have told her about this? I can tell you that their family has gone on to share the autism story with many people, including her doctor. And we've had all kinds of stories that I would love to share with people. But the bottom line is when you take a look at a company like this and you see products that this company has and you start seeing the difference, it goes back to what I told you about. My mission has been to help empower people to understand and be educated about their wellness. And this gives me a path to do that. And it gives me a chance to do that with products that I can trust. I know and understand what goes into products, and the way that this company puts things together is really, truly unmatched by a lot of other nutritional companies. The care that they take in terms of how they look at their powders, how they make sure that this product every time goes out exactly the same, with the same standards of care that I see in pharmaceutical companies, maybe better than some actually. And the reality is it's a chance to really help people see a difference. And it's not about being a scientist. You don't have to be a scientist to do this. What you do need to know and understand is there's a lot of people like myself that have taken a look at what goes on in this company and takes a look at what these products are doing. And the technology that's coming is coming so fast that it's almost impossible for doctors currently to keep up with it. And that's why they don't know about this. They're not going to know about this unless we as patients and as wellness coaches help share it so that they can learn and see this. The only way they learn anything anymore about medications is through pharmaceutical reps. And it's sad, but that's the unfortunate truth of it. And I happen to be a person that can be on both sides of things. I know all about the pharmaceutical aspect of it, but I also know a ton about the nutritional side of it. And when you take a look, sometimes pharmaceuticals are necessary when you're in a really difficult state. But most of the time, they're being used for symptoms of things that your body's trying to tell you. And so overall, when you take a look at a company like LifeVantage, they're going to be first in whatever categories they decide to, because that's the nature of who they are. They find ways to explore into technologies that are frankly really pioneers. And so just like, there's many of you sitting out there, I'm sure that many of you have taken vitamin C. My first question to a lot of people when they start asking me for research is, you know what, when you took vitamin C, how much time did you spend researching it? And they start laughing, because it's like, they didn't research it. But I can tell you, in the 50s and 60s, when that information first came out, no one knew what an antioxidant was. I was talking about antioxidants in the 80s, and people thought I had 3 heads. They seriously didn't know what it is. It's taken all this time, and now antioxidants are in everything from candy bars to chewing gum, even toothpaste, I think. And that's kind of where we are with Protandim. We're people that are on the cutting edge of this. This is one of the first products that I'm aware of that's been called a nutrigenomic. The reason it is because it has an effect on how a gene expresses itself. I can't begin to tell you how exciting that is for me. I know that's kind of boring for a lot of other people, but it really is truly cutting edge science. And I think that the most important thing that you can take from this, hopefully, is that this really is real, and that you should be able to get with the people that have been sharing this with you and take a look and have them show you some of the real science. You don't have to be a scientist, because all of it's out there for us already. We have videos. We have all kinds of studies out there. We have something called nerf2science.com that answers tons of questions. I always urge people to go to nerf2science.com, because it will explain in great detail how each one of the products at LifeVantage work and how they can have an effect on different body systems. And so for me today, that was the point that I wanted to get across. I hope that's helpful for some of you. And Becky, if you would like to be able to have some of the people in your audience ask questions, I'd be more than happy to do that. But I would just like to say that I feel like I'm making a bigger difference today with what I'm doing, sharing Protandim, than I could ever do individually working in the field that I'm working. So thank you.